Welcome to the Volker Upland.
That's not the right one. What are we doing?
No.
That's not the right one at all. I told it to go to the neutral zone, and it lied to me.
I thought maybe you're gonna play that new one that was made for us.
I should have. I should. Now I can't get to go to it. So I guess we're not doing a fucking intro today.
Oh, there goes
So
the
here we
intro.
are.
You're supposed to come out of that into the intro.
Whatever. Anyway, hey everybody, we're here. It's the neutral zone. I don't know why the Vulgar Uplander song started playing. It is what it is. You get what you get. Sometimes we fuck this up, sometimes we don't. And by me or we, I mean me. So, because I'm the one that controls this crap. Anyway, welcome everybody. Happy and swirly. How are we doing?
Good evening. I am fantastic. Yourselves, I should say.
Amazing. No complaints on my end.
I am, as Swarley used to say, and maybe still sometimes does, I am gruntled.
You are gruntled?
I am.
I haven't said that for ages, have I? I've forgotten all about that.
I know.
I am very gruntled today.
What's got your panties in a crumple?
No, I'm not
Gruntled.
disgruntled. I'm gruntled.
Which is actually a word. No one ever uses it, but it's actually a word.
You're content, is that right?
Yes,
Yes.
I'm happy as a clam on high tide, man. Everything's good. Yeah. So I'm winning the day. California Trading Co. says, "What's up?" or "sup" with 3 exclamation marks. Means he's very excited. He's probably gruntled as well.
Actually,
I was going to say it's off season, so it should be a quiet week, yeah?
You would think. I mean, the war's over. We can be friends again.
well, we
Can
were
we,
all
though?
cyborgs anyways, right?
Sure.
Yes. Yes, we are.
You know what? I gotta say, I felt like that was one of the most awkward Upix podcasts I've ever seen. I don't know if you guys watched it, and I probably shouldn't even go there, but
Nah, we're gonna go there.
it was entertaining on my, just to like it. Here's the thing: is it sad to see like friends, like actual people that are actually friends in life, like let a game kind of get between them, right? Because at the end of the day, it's a game, and yeah, you're gonna get heated in the moments of battle and whatnot. But hopefully, people don't let that really come between them in real life.
I don't think it will. I think it's just a moment, and everybody argues sometimes, and I don't know either of them personally, but I think they have a good enough relationship and tenure with one another that they'll be just fine.
Yeah.
Did you catch my video, Happy, that I put up?
I did not. Which one did you do?
Oh, the one I posted a video on Friday. Basically, man, I would have assumed you would have seen it.
No, I would have watched it. Let me explain. So Friday, I was traveling all night, and then this weekend we had a family member pass last weekend, so I just haven't been up to I haven't been watching much. I haven't been really responsive to much. So otherwise I would have watched.
Okay, well, it was kind of my my farewell to the cyborgs in my own kind of special way, because I was essentially supporting everything that TML was saying, and I sold one of my properties to I believe it was a pirate. I don't know exactly, to one of the other factions, and said my piece about the cyborg clan and how that all went down, which we can probably dive a little bit further into right now.
Well, do we want to start at the start?
Go for it.
We should start at the very beginning. Yes, let's
Start at the very beginning, because so when all this was announced, at first I was like, nah, not interested in the wars. The juice isn't worth the squeeze, won't get involved. And then I was like, Elle's like, but it's going to be a lot of fun, man. You should get involved. It's going to be heaps of cool. I'm like, all right, fine. If I'm going to do this.
Is that how I sound?
Pretty much. So I'm like, You know what? Maybe it will be a bit of fun. Maybe I should get involved just for the fun of it, because I know it's a waste of money to get involved. Like, you get a badge, top 3 you get a badge, top 25 get a Block Explorer, and the top one, or 200, or the team that wins gets a share of a tiny amount of spark. But so I'm like,
I think 250K.
200 between up to 200 players. So I mean, I'm sure the winner, and we'll go over the scores in a minute, whose score was massive, is going to get a pretty decent slice of that pie, which, you know, I don't know how much. If I know I staked on their property, so I know they've spent a bit of UpX to get involved, so I don't know how much USD as well. But anyway, so I was all in. So I'd acquired double-figured structural ornaments to place. I had 30-odd properties. I had purchased prior to the wars a property that was untouchable by the opposition. I brought 300,000 sparklet to the game to stake on properties. And in my head, it was a no-brainer.
Arguably untouchable.
Well, as long as you didn't flip on me. So in my head, it hadn't even crossed my mind that I wasn't going to start building a superstructure from the moment it opened up with my sparklet, hoping that hoping that, you know, I'd knock over that, and then maybe once that was finished, you know, 3.5 days in, then I can help other people do theirs. Meanwhile, you know, do my bit for scoring points elsewhere. But yeah, I'll admit that part of my thought, and I have no clue whether I would have got there or not, was to try and aim for the top 3. And hats off to Shaq and everyone that tried to organise it. Trying to organise 150 people is not a task that I'd ever fucking try and take on myself.
Oh,
Never
no.
in a million years. So the fact that they even took that on, hats off to them.
Yeah, and to their defense, is disgruntled, as I think both of us got during that. I do want to give that whole team a heap of credit for doing what they did do. Again, my whole gripe was that I just wish that as a whole it could have been handled better. That's all.
So, like I said, you're not going to make 150 people happy with any decision you make. It's like refereeing a football game, isn't it? Like, if it's a 50-50 call, half the crowd and half the teams are going to, you know, hate you, and vice versa. So I don't envy that. So when the so-called sanctioned structures were announced and I wasn't on the list, that pissed me off a little bit, thinking that I brought more than enough to the table to warrant being a so-called sanctioned structure. But what really ticked me off at the same time is that multiple people had multiple sanctioned structures on the list. And in my understanding, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe this is just Swali's little world and totally out of the loop or whatever, was there was more than enough people that had legitimate locations for a superstructure that we all could have just had one each, so to speak, and shared the love as a team. So when I saw that writing on the wall, I straight away went back to my initial default setting of, I don't want to get involved in this, and I just stepped away. Didn't say anything, didn't try and piss anyone off, just stepped away. I'm not interested in this, and backed away and sold my stuff and moved on.
How soon after you did that did you get hit up?
I had people reach out to me straight away. I didn't respond. I invoked the 24-hour rule because I was a bit annoyed and I didn't want to say anything I regretted. So I invoked the 24-hour rule, and then later on, someone who I considered a friend reached out and said, "What's going on?" And I was less than impressed with their response to me, but, you know, I'm assuming it's just, again, in the heat of the moment. But it is what it is. Again, at the end of the day, I sold my assets. I rented out my Spark. I did all right this was. I am certainly not complaining. I made enough USD to buy probably more Sparklet than the winners will get, and I made enough UpX to by renting out my Sparklet to TML, and so yes to the opposition and to our team. So Nerds Logic, I think, got a fair chunk of my Spark for a fair chunk of the time, and compensated me quite handsomely for it. So I'm certainly not complaining there. So from my point of view, absolutely no sour grapes whatsoever. Would I go on the Cyborgs team again? For a week-long competition, I want it to be more laid back. I mean, I don't mind a bit of teamwork and a bit of coordination, and without it, you're not going to win. And so, from my point of view, I probably wouldn't, because it's too cutthroat. Like, it wasn't fun. It's supposed to be fun, and to me, it wasn't fun. I saw that writing on the wall from day one, and just went, "Yeah, this is not for me." so I just left the server. I left the wars and became basically a gun for hire. So that was my take on it. So I put everything up that was in relation. Anything that I didn't want to keep long term in Tokyo was put up for sale straight away. And to be honest, a fair bit of it was sold. So, like I said, I did it. So between selling properties, selling my structural ornaments, and selling my Spark, I came out looking pretty. So I'm pretty happy. So hopefully we can all be friends. Hopefully there is no hard feelings. And we'll talk more about future wars in a minute, I guess. So, so obviously Elslack got wind of the fact that I'd pulled out, the reasons why I pulled out. So that changed his course of, I think, anyways, we'll know about that in his video that he did last week.
Well, some of us know about it. Some of us
didn't watch
don't.
it.
Some of us didn't watch it. It was a controversial video. I know that I pissed off some people because I heard about the fact that I pissed off some people with what I said and how I went about it. I know that after all of that, I surprisingly got a lot more support than I did negative reactions. And even some of the people within the leadership group reached out to me and had given me praise and whatnot about, the things I had said and kind of keep doing what I'm doing, which was, pretty satisfying to hear.
Look, I'd be super surprised if there isn't one or two players at the end of this sort of look back at some of the stuff that happened and went, look, there's definitely ways we can improve on this. Maybe communicate things a bit better, maybe be a bit more transparent about how we do things. At the end of the day, the team that's the most organized will win this almost every single time. Even if you even doubt, I mean, the assets were massively in favor of the Cyborgs from the get-go. I knew that even before the passes went on sale. I knew that team was going to be so one-sided. And I knew they were leaning towards Cyborgs even before the passes. There was a chance that if more than half of them end up with a different pass and they may have gone a different way. But Cyborg was, from what I understood, reading between the lines, what they wanted. And now that they have Cyborg structural ornaments and assets and stuff, I can't see people wanting to change teams too much. Unless something, and again, we'll talk about this in a minute, but unless something comes in the game that changes that mindset, if people have the ability to choose which faction that they are, and I think they should, then nothing's going to change. Cyborgs will be the team to beat.
I think they shouldn't.
Shouldn't change the factions?
I think they shouldn't be able to. You shouldn't be able to pick your faction. I thought that's what you're referencing.
Yeah, well, that was discussion. We'll talk about that in the feedback section of the wars in a minute.
Okay.
We'll expand on that more. But if that doesn't happen and you can continue to choose, the Cyborgs are going to be so strong moving forward that they'd be hard pressed to beat all year. I seriously can't see how anyone, unless Abdullah goes, let's give the Pirates a hand because they came last. Like, I just don't see how anyone's going to beat them. But having said that, who knows what city the next one will be in and who has the structures and the properties in that next city, because that could dramatically change things too. It'd be interesting to watch and see. So, yeah. But if you want, we'll share. Do we want to expand any of that, or we just want to move on?
I mean, you basically summed it up, and then I, expanded my piece, which was all about just treating people the right way and making sure that nobody felt like they were being strong-armed or pushed around or, had the fun sucked out of it, which, is not the case, because there's lots of people that did feel like they had the fun sucked out of it. There's lots of people that didn't care at all. Like, there's people I talked to, they're like, I didn't even know that was happening. And I said, you know what? Because for most part, like, if you're not looking for it, you're not going to find it. And unfortunately for me, and I think for you too, Swarley, neither of us were looking for it, but it found us. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. And for me, that was kind of where I feel like I had to draw the line and be like, okay, I can't unsee what I've already seen. And it was a lot more obvious once you saw it, and it really was bothering me on a personal level, because I just can't do it. I can't handle it. I can't look at that and be like, oh yeah, this looks like kind of some gross behavior. And again, I don't think anybody was doing that maliciously or on purpose or like intentionally be like, oh yeah, let's go and, you know, punk this person out of, you know, doing this deal or, you know, this thing. But I think, you know, the mob mentality a little bit kind of took over, and I think it crushed the experience for some folks. I know it did for me. So
I think some focus was lost. I mean, at the end of the day, Upland should have each player should have their own long-term focus on what they want to achieve, whether it be the next 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, whatever. And that should be the ultimate goal. And you shouldn't sacrifice that for a 1 week game for a bit of fun to basically win a Block Explorer. I mean, what else? A little bit of sparkle if you're on the right team, but outside of that, what are you really going to get? Like it's a cool. So I said when this first was announced, and you know, and some people sort of said I wasn't being fair, I guess, but I had two major issues with the Spark Wars when it was first announced. One was that I had an issue with the fact that attacking weapons and stuff like that didn't score points, which apparently got resolved before the thing kicked, or when the thing kicked off, which Upland
everything you wanted, you got.
So, and Sparklet was awarded points, albeit I had most of my Spark staked for most of the week, and I ended up with like 100 and something points. So clearly staking Sparklet doesn't earn you many points. Whether that's right or wrong, I'm not here to say. I have no clue. I haven't put any thought into it. But so my issue was that, first of all, was that attacking items should score your team points. So it didn't seem fair that they didn't. And Upland, for whatever reason, I'm assuming they didn't listen to me. I'm assuming they figured that out on their own and changed that. They just failed to tell us that, which I think is just pathetic that they couldn't put out some release going on reflection, or, you know, we've decided to add in this or something. How hard would it have been to do some sort of update, some sort of release saying, this is what we're doing, this is how the points work? I still don't know how the points work for staking Sparklet. If I stake 1,000 Sparklet, 100,000 Sparklet, how many points do I get if I staked it on a structure from start to finish? Like, something like that should be fucking blatant and obvious, and the fact that it wasn't, I'm sorry, Upland, you get an F for that. I mean, again, it's communication, which is what pisses me off. And maybe with that information, maybe I might have made different decisions, like you said in your video. Well, that's not everything that's always hidden, because most of the information was in the release. How many points you scored for a small structural ornament, or the micro, the townhouse, the apartment building, including how many points you lost if you're attacked by a certain object. So most of the information was there. They just neglected to add in the cannons and the Sparklet. Maybe they'll do that next time, but I mean, again, Upland can certainly learn to improve in certain areas. The other thing I had issues with, and I reckon this would have eliminated all the dramas from the week, it was truly a teams event. If first place got the same prize as last place, when I say last place, whoever came last on the team, but contributed to the team in some way, shape, or form, it's a teams event. If everyone got the exact same prize, Sparklet, Block Explorer, badge, what fucking ever, then there would be no, in my opinion, there wouldn't have been as much fighting and bickering and, you know, dictatorship or whatever you want to call whatever happened. Would we see an issue where, you know, maybe some of the bigger players then haven't got that, you know, 1 of 3 badge to aim for, and that's what they want to get? So will they not want to participate? Yeah, potentially. But guess what? If you then have all these whales that don't want to get involved, what does that free it up for? What about all these mid-level players that go, I'm not getting involved because the whales will just smash it?
Well, I mean, did the whales pretty much, like, those top 3 players aren't whales, right?
Yeah, I think they're pretty up there.
Drifter, I know he's actually, you know, probably like mid-level executive, you know, like, but I don't think there's any CEs in the top, are there?
I'm thinking, like, I'm referring to whales, and I'm almost putting myself, like, I'm a small whale, if you want to put it that way. Obviously, compared to Dizzy, I'm a fucking tiny fucking little, you know, dot in the fucking...
Like a killer whale.
I mean, the amount of spark that you have makes you a whale, man. Like,
it helps.
You know?
But my point is, instead of the bigger player, like, there'll be more incentive for smaller players with not much to get involved and participate, because they're going to get the same prize as a huge account. So there's no disadvantage for them to go, I want to get in there. Now, a small account, let's say like a pro or even a director, there's no chance pretty much that probably a director is going to get top 25 and get a Block Explorer.
No, but they
Like-
from the whole, just participate. Being able to get
I'm
those.
not
chances
catching half
like
of what
that.
you're saying. You're breaking up again.
Happy,
So,
you're breaking up a lot.
God damn it!
Get pissed.
Hold on. So, can you hear me better?
Yeah, that sounds
Oh,
better.
Yes, quite better.
Oh,
Pull your mic out of your asshole.
what was I trying to say? Well, no matter what, you can participate and you can actually benefit from it. Like you're saying, you didn't have to. You make way more money and upics just from being able to participate in the game, right?
Yeah,
Can
but
you
my
hear
point
me?
is, no, you're good now. My point is, I'm not saying there isn't an advantage for okay. Look at there's 160 players on the Cyborg team. Okay, so obviously the top 3 get the badge, cool. The next 25, the top 25 get a Block Explorer, awesome, and the rest get a slice of Sparklet. But the lower down you're on the list, the less Sparklet you get. Okay, awesome. Look at the other 2 teams though. You have to finish top 25 to get a Block Explorer, otherwise you get nothing. So you're a 2/3 chance, especially if you know you're not going to be on a Cyborg. If you're on the Pirates or whatever, and especially knowing the Cyborgs are so strong now, would you think twice about joining one of the other 2 factions in the future? No, and then if you're a director or smaller or something, going, well, okay, I'm no chance to finish top 25 out of the 200 of us that are in this thing. So, okay, well, do I spend the $5 to buy the pass? Maybe, maybe not. Do I spend the $13 plus to buy packs? Maybe, maybe not. It's obviously a choice for each person, but I just think there's more incentive for those players to get involved if their prize is exactly the same as. I just don't think they should be ranked in terms of players 1 through to whatever. I think it just should be a team score. End of story. We don't, like, when you watch a game of footy, you don't give the points to each. I know they record who scores the touchdowns and shit like that, but they don't, go, well, so-and-so scored 5 points and they scored 6 points. And no, it's just, the Denver Broncos scored 30 points. And that's how it should be, in my opinion.
So maybe basically something like just give the winners, everybody gets a badge and a Block Explorer, and the other 2 teams get nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds better to me. And then, I agree. I think the teams need to be randomized. And
I do have a theory on that. We were going to go on this in a bit later. I did bring this up so we could, at least congratulate the top. I mean, Nerds Logic. I'd love to know what they did to get basically double the next best score.
they had to have a lot of properties that probably were untouchable in a sense.
I know they built.
You know?
I know he built a few superstructures because I had my 300,000 Sparkle on one of his for most of the week. So, look, I know he's put the effort in there. He deserves to be at the top. I don't know exactly what he did. I haven't looked at the account, dived in to see how many structural elements, stuff like that. But, it's obviously gone all in and the score shows for it. So, for everyone that did, score really well, and then we can go over here and Upland release the top 25 of each faction. So, congratulations to Thank Me Later, got in the top 25, so he gets his badge. Cool for him. So everyone on this list will get a not a badge, sorry, a Block Explorer. So
and then top 3 get a badge, right?
Only the top 3 of the Cyborgs get a badge. So Nerds Logic, Upland, Tara, and Drifter will get the badge. And then so RD5 missed out, and everyone else just gets the Block Explorer through here. I scored a total of 100 and something points, so I just missed out. But considering I sold everything, that's not a big surprise. So I've seen a few people talking about, what could we change in relation to this dominance that the Cyborgs showed. And what have we got? We'll come back to that in a minute. I'll stop sharing for a minute. So it was mentioned on, whose show was it? That I think Cheese put it up there. So once you buy a pass, you can't exchange it. That pass that you get given is the only one you get given. Kind of works to randomize the teams and maybe keep it somewhat even. But I think at the same time, it sort of takes out all the fun. We're pretty close, us 3 here, and we'd like to be on the same team so we can talk shit and, and collude and stuff like that. So I disagree with that notion. I understand where they're coming from, and it probably would solve the problem. I just think there's other ways that they can solve the problem.
I think
Um,
even if you just get assigned a team, whatever team you pull, even if we're on different teams, and look, I would still have a great time coming on the show and fucking your shit up. Like, oh, watch, I just be targeting your ass, and you be maybe target my ass, uh,
Right.
and then maybe Happy's some sort of neutral person, and he goes and targets nobody and is an arms
potentially,
dealer. Yeah, who knows?
potentially,
But I think that
but
would be fun, just as fun as you and me teaming up on fucking Happy or something.
all
Is
right,
tag teaming
potentially.
his
But
ass.
what about exploring other options before we just take the first knee-jerk reaction and option and go with it and go, well, let's just do this. This will solve the problem. Why don't we explore other options?
Ooh,
Um,
I love exploring other options. You got some?
so, I mean, well, how in golf do we keep all players on the same level as best we can? We all play golf here.
Yeah.
I've played golf a time or twice.
So with the handicaps,
Yeah. So if they won by basically double everyone else's score, handicap them. Make their number have to be X amount % lower than the other two teams for the next battle. So how they couldn't burn passes if they got 25% ahead of the other two teams. Do the reverse. They can only burn passes when they're 25% behind the other two teams.
Or take the
keep-
top 25 and then neuter them. Not literally, you know what I mean? I just mean like it's like a similar thing. Like, hey, you get 25% less points for being in top 25, so that way it gives other people an opportunity to be successful.
No, I just think you try and give some sort of incentive or some sort of push to the other two teams because at the end of the day, we want to see this. We want to come down to the wire, 3-way battle on the last day where you really don't know who's going to win until the final scores come out. Sadly, it's not quite live scoring and it's all fucked up, and maybe Upland get better at it. Who knows? But we want to somehow, and at the way it is at the moment, we saw the dominance, we saw the score, we saw they were basically double the other two teams. In fact, the other two teams only just got ahead if you add their scores together. So I don't know, I kind of like the idea of handicapping the Cyborgs just in their numbers to try and boost up the other two teams for a higher score. We already know that team already probably has more resources and bigger players. So try and get more players than the other two teams to try and even the fight. Now they still go and win, but it's a much closer battle. Maybe that solves the problem. Maybe it gets closer. Maybe we handicap them more next time round. And the handicap
That only works if it's the same players on the same team. Now, if they say, "Hey, I don't want to be a cyborg anymore. I want to go to this other team," and you got other whales just jumping ship to go do whatever, then you're handicapping a team that doesn't have the same power that they did once before.
Two things. First of all, humans are a creature of habit. So once they pick something, they usually stick with it. Doesn't mean they have to, and there will be exceptions to the rule. But two, and the biggest reason why I think that won't be the case is most of these players already own several structural ornaments or other map assets in relation to the Cyborgs, and to have to then swap that each and every season to whatever, say they go to the Pirates or whatever next season, to have to swap them all or exchange them or whatever, it's just not worth it. So to me, I can't see many players wanting to switch factions. There might be a few. I now own nothing from the Cyborgs. I don't have a single item that's Cyborg, so
Neither do I.
So I will probably, if I do want to get involved in the future, and I haven't decided yet, will probably look to go a different faction. Maybe just to help even it out, I guess, more than anything. I don't care about winning. I really couldn't give a shit about the Sparklet prize. I mean, it's easy to say with 300,000 Sparklet. I'm badge. I'm probably not going to get even if I wanted to. And the Block Explorer,
with your friendship, I'm always winning.
So I don't know. I like the handicap idea. Like maybe they can only burn if they're 25% or more behind the other two factions, and just see that levels it out. If it turns out they get smashed, well then we can re-look at it next. I mean, like I said, I just don't want to jump at the first thing because I don't like the idea of not having choice. I just don't think that's the right decision.
I don't know. I think that would be just better for everybody in general. And then it also just promotes a lot more of working with people you don't always work with, and it would just create a lot more randomness, I think, and just different outcomes. The market would be a lot better because you would have a lot more free flow of those assets, and they wouldn't just be stuck with one player all the time. You know, like I can see where there's a lot of pluses to the handicap system, but at a point, it's like, how much can you just keep handicapping? You know, or is even anybody even going to want to join the other factions?
I'm not saying that's the answer. I'm just saying that's just an option that I thought of.
Yeah.
I'm sure there'd be other ideas out there. I just don't want to jump at the first one. And I plan to have 6 weeks to think about it, if they even do change it, which my bet is they don't.
I bet they do. With this lopsided as it was, I would venture a guess that they find some way to make a change. You know they're going to make changes. This is beta. They're going to alter some shit. I venture a guess that they will find a way to make it more equitable for everybody. So that way, it is a fight for, because I think ultimately what they want to do is have it for the full 2 weeks, for the full off season,
and have more people,
and if it's over after day 3, like that's not what anybody wants. Nobody wants that. Upland doesn't want that. We don't want that.
I did see a comment from someone, and I don't want to out them, saying, it was really good to see, high engagement in relation to this war. And I had to go, no, it's high engagement from people involved in the war, 100%, yes. But when you look at the total number involved in the war, at best, it's 150-ish per team, so 450 odd players. What's the weekly active player count these days? Somewhere between 20 and 30,000. So high active player count in relation to the Upland
like
user
5%, not even.
No, it's like 1%.
It's really it's really low.
Right.
1.5%, something like that. So high engagement, no. Potential or a starting point, yes. Could this? I mean, I'd love to see 50% or something like that. I mean, Upland would love to see that because obviously they could sell a crap load more. And imagine seeing, instead of just like Bjorn's map was fantastic, and if you didn't see it, go to his website and check it out. It was just brilliant. Stuff that guy can do is amazing. That Upland, was it my Upland info? Upland,
yeah.
My
I apologize.
Yeah.
But his map that showed all, and it was available for all 3 factions. It wasn't just something for the cyborgs, and showing all the different colors and where. But it was very sparse, spread out over the whole of Tokyo. So I'd love to see that so much more filled with color. Then it's a real war sort of thing rather than just a very sporadic. There's just so many properties that were not near other properties. You couldn't touch them. You have to trade stuff like that. I'd love to see a much higher intake of it. It'd be awesome to get aim for 50% one day, but will that ever happen? Who knows? Probably not.
What do you think if they would have put out, say, 400 passes each? How many people do you think would have actually bought passes?
Look, you're always going to sell more than what will play because people are going to buy the passes to keep. Especially, I don't know if these passes count towards collection thingies, and probably do.
Well, right. But what I'm saying is, how many more players do you think would have actually been able to play? Like, how many more do you think it would have been? Like another 50 players per team? In reality, because there comes a point where there's really not that many people that are playing Upland enough to pay attention.
You got to make people want to. You got to make people want to get involved in it. So, and they started with a low number, and that's what they needed to do. Whether they go to 300 next time or not, I don't know. Only they can tell you the sale figures and demand for these things. I'd argue there probably isn't demand to increase it much, if at all, for the next season. But who knows? Upland's growing. Hopefully, they do start growing significantly in the near future.
You could make an UpX version of the pass. I think that would help tremendously for some, because I think there's a lot of people out there that were put off with the fact that it was only for USD, and they're thinking the Upland is just a money grab at the moment.
I mean, at $5 though.
I know it's really cheap, but I mean, some people just
like that whole. I don't know. For me personally, like anytime I hear somebody complaining about things need to be more in UPX, I don't know. I guess it's kind of like I can understand because there are a lot of people out there that don't want to put any money into this game and they want to just be able to use their UpX, right? So I guess and if they did like a lottery system, to where it was really only like maybe 10% of them get to be bought in UpX or something like that, then I think that would be kind of fair. But
like the totems half and half. But I mean, Look, I'm at $5. I mean, again, if anyone that's playing Upland can't afford $5, what are you doing playing Upland? Not much doesn't cost more than $5 in Upland.
Right.
Well,
In terms of buying map assets, I honestly think they'll only get cheaper. As each war happens, map assets on the secondary market will come down in price as there's more and more on the market. Now, whether they continue selling as many as they did this time around in the future, because if they do, they're just going to end up flooding the market. There'll be more map assets and structural ornaments than what people can actually use. So it'd be interesting to see how they do attack that, because it's definitely a dynamic. I think TML mentioned it even on their show, that if they continue the same path, there's different buildings that they can do it on, but at the end of the day, how many map assets and structural elements can someone have before they just don't have the property to support them in a wars? So, and then they're going to stop wanting to buy them, depending on the city as well. And so, I mean, there's so many things that can play out, so we'll have to wait and see. But me personally, I support the decision to choose your faction. I just think there needs to be something somehow to try and even it out a bit more. I don't know. But I guess that's just the world, isn't it? So, I mean, European soccer is a classic example. The top teams are always up the top, aren't they? So
maybe they could choose captains, and then you have a list of all the people that want to play, and then
you're going to be selected last.
you just get picked up. Yeah.
Yeah, that could work.
That'd be fun.
Just moving along a little bit. So I did see a couple of, when I was reading the Cyborg post, and I'm sure other people have other suggestions, and I haven't looked at the Upland suggestion page yet, but I wanted to bring out these two because I thought, I don't know if I agree or disagree. I'm not suggesting that, but I just like the idea that they propose. So the first one being that I'd love to see implement of Spark on weapons and defensive items. The more you stake on the, so I don't know how that would go with staking Sparklet on a map asset that's already produced or something. But effectively what they're saying is, put more Sparklet on your cannon and you can increase the range that it can reach. Cool idea, especially for those properties that are out of range. I kind of like that idea. And the other one was like, it's bombs. So whether you can buy something at one-time use, that you can have your Block Explorer drift over those properties that you can't reach because they're out of, like, I guess the one that I was proposing to build on, because they're out of range or something like that. You can have your Block Explorer just drift over the top of them and drop a bomb on them and maybe hamper them for 24 hours or something like that. I don't know whether I like it or dislike it. I just thought that's just interesting and definitely different thinking. So the player's name.
I was thinking of something kind of like that when I was listening to the Upic podcast again today on my way home from work, and something that TML had brought up was like different shapes, and like he brought up like a star, and I was just thinking like, yeah, that would be really cool. Like if
a triangle or
if almost you could you pick the asset you want with a certain shape, or where you want to put it. So like even if you had like maybe like call it a North Star or something like that, and it has like a really really long narrow like point to it, and then maybe like a broader, wider, not nearly as long base, where you can really target the direction you want to go to try to hit those properties. Because if you notice some of those big properties, they could be right in the middle of everybody, but because they're so big and you put that property, that superstructure right in the middle or whatever, nobody can touch it. Even if they're surrounded by all these other buildings, there should be a way so you can access to those. So there is no property that's off limits. I think that would change significantly. I think that would be like a really cool thing.
That's with, especially being so sparse with Tokyo, I felt that there was just too many untouchable properties, which kind of almost took the fun out of it. And that's from an observer point of view. I wasn't even playing. So Fast Track is saying basically what we're saying. You buy a pass, that's your function, and what you're saying that anyone can go and buy a secondary pass on the market. But you're effectively saying the same thing, that once you buy a pass, whatever that one that you received, and you can only ever buy one from Upland, is your faction. I don't know. Again, like I said, I support the free choice. And to be honest, if one team's going to dominate, to be fair, and you've already seen it in chat here, I think eventually people are going to want to rally against that, and one day, because everyone wants to take down the big dog. So I think, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, I guess. But I'm not going to go reading through all these because I haven't had a chance to read them myself to pick out if there's any good ones. But if people haven't had a chance or didn't know about it, Upland have released the feedback for the Sparklet Wars, so you can chuck in your ideas and thoughts. Like I said, I haven't read anything myself. I'm assuming there will be some good ideas in here. You might have some good ideas yourself. You're going to chuck in there. Someone's written an essay. So check that out. I might do that a bit later on, probably not at the minute. But yeah, if anyone else has got any good ideas, chuck them in chat or post them there.
Yeah.
I saw some good ideas in there. A lot of people have already been putting good stuff down.
There'll be heaps of good stuff, and I'll be really keen to see what does and doesn't change. I mean, we already saw it change a bit from when they first announced it to when they released it, with the scoring for cannons and Sparklet. So
Yeah, there's shadow changes.
Mm-hmm.
yes.
That was fun.
What's frustrating is they were brilliant changes. They were the right change, and
Yes,
they were
they were
fucking
absolutely
awesome.
the right changes. There's no reason.
But why not
to
tell us?
say, hey guys, guess what we did? We took your advice, and like, I said this on one of my drives. I was like, even
Yeah.
if you just if you say, hey, we've talked it over with the team. Your suggestions are great. We're gonna do this. You have 12 hours to get ready. We're doing this. Or hey, before we score tomorrow, we made this change. Just a heads up. So prepare for that. Give us any kind of notice rather than just like having us find out. Right, like because we're confused. Like, why is the score different than I thought?
Anyway, let's move along unless we've got anything else, questions or whatever. So transitioning onto the Block Explorer so we've got another USD sale for Block Explorer. So what do they call it? The bundle sale. What's it called when they do the 20k UpX as well as the Block Explorer?
A sweetener sale, sir.
Sweetener sale, that's the one. So anyway, yeah, there's your Block Explorer. Like, I guess if you're committed to your faction, which this only suggests to me that people, once they choose a faction, will probably stay with that faction. For $20 and you'll get this in 20k UpX.
The Cyborg one looks like a Mario tube, but gray.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah,
I expect
yeah,
a turtle or something to come out of it.
Yeah.
I'm not
the
sure.
Fucking, pirate one looks
The best.
weird. No, I don't. No, I think the Knights one looks the best. To be honest with
No,
you.
I reckon that looks the worst.
I don't think
See,
any
we're all
of them
different.
look all that great, to be honest.
No, none of them are great. But if I had to pick one, I think Crypto Knights looks the best. The Cypher of Cyborgs looks like it belongs in Super Mario Land, and then the other one looks like a fucking hot mess. How they think that S looks like a boat, I don't know. I don't love that, other than the skull and crossbones. Only part that I like on there.
And how come there's no S on the
On the what?
on the Knights? There's no S, right?
Yes,
like,
there
Yeah,
is.
is there?
Yeah, that's
Am I
right
just?
here.
Oh, okay. I see
Right
it
there.
in between the stairs there.
Blind bastard.
Well, it's very
Anyway.
small compared to the other two.
So
Yeah, it is smaller. It's not front and center.
Yeah. So registration's open now, people. So, register now. Buy at 4 a.m. my time.
Are you gonna buy one, bro?
Nope. Oh yeah.
Oh, happy you're gonna buy one?
What's the mint numbers on them?
70 each.
210.
So 70 each faction.
70 each. So
Do you only get your faction?
how much? And how much are they?
$20.
$20. You get your
20
20k.
bucks?
Get your 20k
I'll
UpX.
probably buy one if I get the chance to.
Let me have a look. Do you register once or do they? I haven't even looked at it myself.
Yeah, I'm surprised I didn't.
I
Okay,
registered.
Do I tell a lie? They're not currently registerable. It must be. When does it start? 28.
No, you can register.
Starts Tuesday the 28th. Well, not on my screen. I can't.
Maybe you need to refresh.
Yeah, I can register.
Maybe I do. Yeah, I'm refreshing now, so maybe I do. Anyway, okay, so maybe I was right the first time. You can register for these now. Buy them at 4 o'clock in the morning, my time. Cool.
I'll be at
The
work
band-
when this kicks off.
The band put a message in our chat saying only 70 people will be fighting over these. I think the fact that because they're another USD sale, I don't think people will be. I think they'll sell out. I reckon this will maybe depending on if you can only buy the faction that you're assigned to. In other words, for us three, the cyborgs,
No.
I think they'll sell out pretty fast. But if you can choose, or if it's random, I don't know. Do you register once or do you register for? I haven't.
Just
Probably
once.
just, I don't know.
So see, it's not still not showing up for me. I've refreshed my page. Oh, there it is. There, sorry. So you just register once, so you just get a random 1 of 3. Okay. Yeah. Well, that means that all of them will probably sell out at some point.
Oh, you don't
I
get to pick which one you don't get the one of your faction.
I
you
don't
get-
know. Either you just get a random or you get your faction. So you know, for us, I'd say if you wanted to get a pirate one, you probably won't. But I don't know. I'm guessing here. I didn't read the information. Purchasing 1 of 3 exclusive Pocket Explorers. Does it say in here? I haven't read it.
I haven't read it either. This is the first time I looked at it. I saw the announcement, but I didn't read it.
What's going on?
Okay, gearing up for the next round, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't really say. It just says 1 of 3.
Well, maybe you probably just get a rando.
Yeah, that's normally how they do these things.
Yeah, my guess is it'll be random, which means you need to swap with whatever, unless you get Mint 1 or Splitter or whatever. But yeah. Anyway, is what it is. So
Cool.
moving along.
What else you got for us? Anything good?
I will just shut that down for a second. Yeah. Like I said, I've got a bit of a running sheet going. All right. So in other Upland news, although I don't know, this is really classified as news. It's not something I've really ever hit my radar either, but terminal MetaVenture applications have been reopened.
Happy,
Right,
did you apply for MetaVenture on your terminal?
You know, I haven't yet, but I'm probably going to, especially because you don't need to even build a building, you know, which I'm very happy that they didn't have you build a building, because how dumb would that be, right?
Yeah.
Which terminals do you own again?
I've got train terminal in Washington. But
So
not
that's the Dullies.
Dulles.
Dulles
I
or
have
Washington?
This one, and then I have a plane terminal in Dulles, and then I have train terminal.
All right, you're breaking up again, so I missed the first one. You got the train terminal in Washington, but you didn't say which one. Like, you broke up.
Dulles. So I got the Dulles train
All right.
terminal.
So my issue with that, is if and when, because Upland did announce and say it was meant to be Q4, that when you buy from a MetaVenture, you don't need to be in that city, provided you own a property in that city. You can have it delivered, so to speak, to that property. If your MetaVenture is in Dulles, does that mean people have to visit Dulles to go to that MetaVenture?
Well, that's
to
where
be
you
able to
fly
buy?
into first.
Yeah,
Unless
but
you're
I'm
taking
saying-
a train, right?
I'm saying someone that might be in LA, under the new rules when they do bring it out.
So they
if
would
you
be
had-
flying into Washington, D.C., and when you get out of that plane terminal, you actually have to go to the train
If they're
to
visiting
get
Washington,
to
yes.
Washington,
But
D.C.
if they bring out these sales where you don't have to visit the city or have to visit the shop, and you can have it delivered to, as long as you owned a property in that city, then that would
Yeah,
be
then what do you do?
That'd be a huge disadvantage, I would assume, unless it counts as Washington. That'd be a huge disadvantage for those MetaVentures that aren't actually in the city.
Yeah,
and there's
no,
quite
that's true.
Quite a few of them like that.
Unless they actually, in Dulles, I don't think Dulles is even really a city. It's just the name of the airport.
Yeah. So
Right,
unless they count that as Washington, and then you can have it delivered to a Washington property, then happy days. But if obviously the Washington train terminals will be sweet because they are in Washington, but the Dulles airports and stuff like that, to me, aren't in a city. If you put a MetaVenture on there, you have to visit that city. When every other MetaVenture in Upland, you can have it delivered to the property in that city as long as you own a property there. So it'd be a huge disadvantage for you to put a MetaVenture on that property. That's just the way I see it. I don't own any. I don't intend to own any. So it's not something I really care too much about, but I know you have a few. And that's just one of the disadvantages that I see to having it on a terminal as opposed to just a normal property.
I could see that in a way, but I also see it as being an advantage, because if people just have to fly right in and buy it, like, yeah, sure. If you're going to go to the whole delivery scenario. But if that's going to be the case, they're going to have to include our terminal. Well, they won't have to, but they would be wise to include
That would
those
make
terminals
sense.
as part of the city.
It'd
You
make
know?
sense on they do, because it'd be a huge disadvantage. I mean, London, is that another one where you actually got to
Yeah,
train
yeah.
to London? So Heathrow Airport, I really wanted the Heathrow when that came out, with my missus being from England, and missed out. But that'd be a huge disadvantage for owning London as opposed to owning a train station that's in England, in London.
Right. So you know that if they once they roll that out, that they're gonna include all that stuff. And the way I see it too is if somebody's actually traveling into the city, having a terminal MetaVenture like trumps everybody else in that city, because you're right there.
More eyes on.
You know, as far as travel goes.
You get your advertisement, you get eyes on, people see it, maybe, and like me, I often just click on that just to see what people are selling. 9 times out of 10, I don't buy anything, but every now and again, I'm like, oh, that looks pretty cool, I might grab that. So you do get a bit more eyes on. So there's advantages to it as well. But I'm just saying, under these new rules, if and when Upland do introduce them with the delivery system, it could be a huge disadvantage. That's just, again, me looking at.
And you're right, you never know.
You know what pisses me off about those MetaVentures on the terminals? When you go to click on what you're hoping to click on, like the plane or the bus or the train or whatever, and you click on those fucking MetaVentures every damn time. I'm like, no, I don't want to look at your stupid fucking MetaVenture. I want to look at, I want to go to a destination, and you have to zoom all the way in because that thing is like sticking in front. It bothers the shit out of me. I don't like it personally.
Well, I think Upland needs to fix something with that because everybody's going to make that mistake, right? You know, and then
every one of them has a MetaVenture on it.
Yeah, and that'll eventually happen where every one of them, you know, or the majority of them have a MetaVenture on them. I mean, you know, I don't know though. I really don't see a big market for terminals right now. You know, people sell them under mint, and that's typically the only ones that sell. You're extremely lucky to get, you know, 1 million UPX for a train terminal, I feel like.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I know I'm not interested in buying any. I just don't think there's value for money in them. Especially when you can go out and buy orange and red collections for under mint. Why would you want to buy a terminal? And
well, right, and you're going to make way more off of it.
You can put them in a city collection at best, but usually probably just a standard collection.
And you know, you got to wonder too, because every one of them has a limit to how many they can get sins to.
Like that.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like, first world problem.
It is 100%. I mean, out of the three of us, only one of us has a terminal.
It's baller.
Well, and I do have 3 of them.
So anyway, let's move on. So that's just, like I said,
you know what? Though, I will say one more thing about terminals. In the future, if there does end up being like 1 million a day players, those terminals will be bringing in a lot more.
Well, assuming that you need to continue traveling for city releases and not warp to city releases. Although I don't have an issue with new players doing that.
They haven't done that in a while, have they?
No, they only did that once, and I think that was for the initial Paris release, was it?
Well, and I guess we haven't had another really. Well, no,
look,
they did.
Given that it costs, you know, thousands of UPX to fly, and there's no, like, the price is the same regardless of whether you're a pro or whether you're, you know, chair. I don't have an issue with, you know, especially players for the first time going to their first city release. Maybe you get a one-time warp deal or something. I don't know. I don't have I seriously don't have a problem with Uplanders or pros being able to warp to a city release just to save on the UPX or even free travel or something like that. But yeah, and then like TML says, you know, have a pay to win type scenario for rich players that can, you know, pay 20,000 UPX to immediately arrive at a location or something or warp there. So, I mean, most other games do something like that. You can either spend an hour and a half on the plane or you can pay X amount and just end up there immediately. So, you know, if you forget to travel for a city release and you're like 5 minutes alert and you're like, oh, fuck, I want to get there now. Pay the money, get there now.
True that.
Yeah, no, that's only beneficial for Upland in all reality.
Yeah. I love that idea.
Anyway, well, TML brought it. That's not my idea. TML said it multiple times.
Well,
all right, so
tax the rich, man. Tax the rich.
Moving along, so we saw a Twitter post, and maybe I missed this, maybe it changed, maybe I'm getting confused, but this post initially came out with this X symbol on it, And the one comment down here just had Dirk with the eyes. So that seems to be gone now, and there's just eyes here. What could it be? So definitely,
Well,
I mean, let's
the
speculate.
one that had Dirk with the eyes is when it was somebody posted, it was X Cash or some shit like that.
Yeah, it was
like
an Elon
like a pay
post.
system, and then it was, and I
Okay,
think they
so
were alluding to, could this be what the surprise or something? And then it was Dirk with the funny eyes.
I mean, if there was some sort of link between X and Upland, holy fuck.
Oh, that would be
dope.
I'm going to wet my pants and probably shit my pants at the same time. Like, we were only last week saying, and the band pointed out that there was stuff in the works that, hold on your hat, we're working on something, and let's give Upland a chance then. They said in Q1 this year that they're, hopefully rolling out some very big things. I don't know, are we dreaming too big, though, to have some sort of link on Twitter or X?
Well, what would that have to do? What could that possibly have to do with making sure that you have your home address?
No, I think they're different.
I don't think so. I think
think
they're the same thing.
Well, that was my next.
Well, maybe it'll be that could have something to do with like verifying yourself as a player. On I don't know.
Well, isn't that what the KYC is
Upland
for?
players get free verification on X.
Alright,
That would be the fucking shit.
All right, so this is the Twitter post about setting your home address. So I did catch this one during the week too, and I don't know what to think about this. I haven't really put any thought into it at the moment. I don't know what to think. You're suggesting that they're linked. Maybe they are. I don't know. I have noticed that whilst there's eyes up here, there's lots of eyes, including the team. Danny Brown, I think somewhere. So you got X1 putting eyes in there. I think Danny Brown's in here somewhere with her eyes. Yep, there. So I don't know. The only thought I had about this, and I've seen a lot of people posting saying, "Oh, lock your home address into whatever node that you're in now," or something like that. I do vaguely remember them saying something about a cooldown period. Once you lock it into an address, you can't move it for an X amount of time. Whether that's what they're bringing in, maybe, I don't know. I mean, typically, if you move address, you don't move again in a hurry, do you? So, typically,
Yeah.
I'd say, I know there's exceptions to every rule, but typically, I'd say if you're at least 6 months in an address, even if you're renting or something like that, you're 6 months at least before you move again. A worst case scenario, but I think most people are years.
Could be every season, right? You can only move your address once a season.
Yeah, it could
Maybe
be.
it has something to do with like your properties, and maybe a utility for renting. You can't rent outside of your home city because you got to be the landlord, and you're the landlord on your.
I would think
nose.
they have a crack and say that Happy's closer to the mark than what you are. I can't see that being the case, but who knows?
You don't think that they're finally going to add some sort of
No,
utility for owning
No.
property with the what is it, the rooms or whatever that are in them?
So, no, I don't. But moving on.
But who would even rent properties right now is kind of my question.
So
How do you what?
Like, who would rent properties right now? Like, the cities have a hard time enough selling out minted properties. Who's going to rent them?
Renting, I thought when I was a treasure hunter, renting would be good if you were going to a city and you wanted to create a basic web just to save some sends. If you could rent a property that didn't cost you to send to.
Or park your car there if you're traveling.
No, okay.
That too, maybe. So that was my thought as a treasure hunter. Now, whether treasure hunting comes back in like full swing, I mean, I know the people are still out there treasure hunting. That was one way I thought renting would be good. Now, if you're doing a standard hunt, you just got your one city and your happy days. But those that are competitive treasure hunts, because that changes every week, might rent a place for a week and just have a sort of a mini web almost, or maybe 10 or 20 properties where they can just, save some cents, so to speak, rather than just waste them all. Whether that's something people want to do, who knows? Whether it makes them a bit quicker to find properties, I don't know. So my thought on this was, if you're 100% locked in a node, so if you're someone like an Elijah Judah or Shaq with Creedmoor or James UK with Granada Hills, 100% lock it in, happy days, because you're not even thinking twice about moving it. But if you're someone like me, it's a bit of a nomad and just jumps around and helps people out, I'm probably going to withdraw my home address full stop and not have one in there until I know what's drops. And then once I know what the answer is, then maybe assign my home address after the fact. Will that be the wrong decision and lock me out of something? I don't know, but my last 3 seasons, I've had 3 home addresses purely to help the 3 nodes become collections. Now, so that's just the way I've been rolling for the last 6 months.
I heard a rumor that it could be that there's another vote coming, and you can't vote unless you have a home address set.
Well, you can't vote unless I think your KYC is done. I think.
Well, and you have to have a home address set.
And there was meant to be voting for your node. So if you were like, whether they bring out some sort of restrictions on nodes, or how like your local council might have certain type of restrictions on what sort of structures you can build or something like that in IRL, whether they try and bring some sort of thing like that, it might even be, Cheese has got her node where they're pretty much all yellow buildings. Maybe they'd pass a notion to say you can only build yellow buildings in that neighborhood, something along those lines, maybe. And that's done via the voting system within the people that have a home address in that node.
That makes sense. Like I've always thought that, being able to just move your home address willy-nilly, kind of makes it less valuable in a sense, or less like, it's like, because, and everybody can just keep flip-flopping which node, and then it lets people just kind of, how true is a node, so to speak. But everybody's just switching to help. I just want to help for this month, and we'll get you there, and then next month we'll get you there, and I don't know. I know it's a nice kumbaya world and all, but like that's, I don't know. It's far from reality, and I'd
be happy to see it locked in for 6 months, even 12 months, or something like that. But what I would like to see, and I've said this before, I'd like to have a holiday home scenario where you can have a second address as well that maybe isn't as locked in, but not worth as much at the same time, if that makes any sense. Like, so you still kind of doing something with a different node. I mean, most rich people in the world would have probably a holiday home or something that they use or utilize. So if you're rich enough in Upland to own more than one property, let's face it, you don't need $10 will get you there. Like, I don't know, like, so that way you don't have to just choose one in one node only. But it is what it is. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. So maybe that'll drop in the next week or two. Maybe it might drop in the next year or two.
Maybe, do you think it has anything to do with the next season? Maybe it's a challenge. You have to have your home address set, or maybe you get like a bonus for like in this whatever node you have your thing set. You get a very like minute percentage of a bonus.
Well, that could be one of the tasks, 100%.
All the properties.
And it was not a hard task for most people to do. There'll be players out there that, multi-accounts or just haven't KYC that wouldn't be able to fulfill that task. But I'm not against that either, so it's not hard to KYC. So, I mean, if you don't want to, that's your choice. I'm not saying that people should, but it's not hard to do it. So, I don't know.
I think you should do it. I think everybody should be KYC'd.
Yeah, I do too. But me personally, I'm probably leaning towards maybe just not having a home address set and see what happens. So I'm not locked into picking one spot and then being stuck there for 12 months or something when I want to really change it. So I don't know. That's just me. I don't know. You do your own fucking choice.
I hope it's something really cool and you miss out because you're being a stubborn bizman.
You know what? Because that's what I've done. It's probably exactly what will happen. It usually is.
We told you to set your home address, and then
I've had my home address set forever, but as soon as it comes out, I can just I'll see the release and just go, yep. I can Elslack dancing at work. I told you so, Smiley.
Swirly's got this ODD problem, this oppositional defiance disorder. He's like, "Oh, you told me to set my home address. Well, fuck you. I'm not setting any home address. In fact, I'm not going to set a home address for 6 months. I'll show you Upland." They're like, "We just want to give you some cool shit. Just set your fucking home address." He's like, "No, not today." That would be super funny. Every time, I know you've made this joke before, like, because you don't tend to win anything ever. You're like, "Oh, this is the Swirly effect."
This would be a good transition then. With you just saying what you just said, we'll move on to the next thing I've got on our list to look at.
Are we going to talk about how you were rooting for the fucking Bills and then the Chiefs won?
Yeah, sorry, KO. That's my fault. No, sorry, not KO. That's my fault.
Oh, whatever, man.
I couldn't give a flying fucking on that game
rigged.
because SC's always Bills this and Bills that and Bills everything else. I'm like, oh fuck it, I'll go for the Bills. So I put in a score on his little podcast saying, the Bills to win whatever. So I was like, oh, let's go for the Bills. Enter Swiley, Bills go down.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
The cooler.
Hang on, this is not the right thing.
What are you looking at now?
I
Collector's
brought up
score.
the wrong.
Oh yeah, are you gonna show off your shiny new Block Explorer?
Yeah, I will,
Yeah.
but I brought up the wrong thing. So give me 1 sec to find it. I put the wrong link in my little notes. So
Whip it out, bro.
stand by. I need to go and click buttons and shit until I figure out what I'm doing.
God bless.
So, yeah, you think someone would be more organized than this, but no.
No, heaven forbid you get your shit together for 5 seconds.
All right,
Don't
let's
mind
hope
me. I'm just moving assets.
Let's hope this is the right one. This is what I don't get, right? So I looked at this when that first came out, saw that I wasn't in the top 100, didn't give a fuck, moved on, never gave it another thought. Didn't care. It wasn't pissed off. I just didn't care, basically. So, it's showing that now. Cool. So, yeah, like I said, never gave it another thought. And then randomly the other day, I just happened to have pop up in my when you log into Upland, then you get your little grey box. I had this random grey box I wasn't expecting, and lo and behold, I end up with that in my wallet. I'm like, cool. What do I get that for? So I had
I'll buy it off you for $3.
And it's the closer mint too. That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that
that's
is a
what
cool
LeVan
one.
said. You're better off coming 25th and 24th. I'm like, fuck yeah. You're better off coming 25th and fucking 10th. Or
How many
second.
points did I score? Look me up when you get a chance here.
So apparently Ken, I guess, I suppose. Yeah, so I ended up in 25th spot. Fuck, did I know what I did to do that?
I would love to know what you did to do that.
Fuck if I know, it's over my head. But yeah, so I was like, holy crap. So, I mean, I guess for everyone that, finished in the top 25 for the first season,
Oh, it was
congratulations.
probably the that structure ornament
The
challenge.
structural ornament, I think, helped because obviously finished in the top 11 there. So I got that badge and the BE for it. And I also got a random BE from the UpX podcast show on that final year Bonanza, the 7-hour show. That was a 1 of 25 BE.
Oh, that's
So
probably what did it. It's those three right there.
Yeah,
So,
that definitely did.
outside of that, I pretty much did nothing else. Like other than I did buy the season pass and the city pass.
Other than spend the whole season trying to get in the top 11 of the structure ornaments and
that
constantly
was
getting
the
the
band.
structure. You were kicking ass at that.
That was the
That's-
band doing that. I didn't do any. I literally bought 2 properties and that was it. So, I already had enough properties. So, so you want to know where you ended up? All right, let's have a look. At
Yeah, I
this.
think I had like 2 points or something when I originally checked.
Well, that's what
I
I had
haven't-
too, and that's why I never went back to it because it said 2 points. So,
Yeah, but then you got those 3 at the end of the season.
oh, happy beat you.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
Well, I even bought all of those Block Explorers, and
Oh
I
yeah,
didn't
you were
get
trying to
anything.
you're trying to go ham for a second.
Yeah,
It
but
didn't
were you buying the
even-
right season ones?
Yeah,
'Cause-
yeah. They were all the frost season, like anything that was
Yeah,
sold
but it had to
during
be from
frost
this
season.
frost season, not
Yeah,
any
yeah,
frost
no,
season.
no, they were all the new ones. They were like one of
Winter
their-
season, not frost. Winter. But look, I don't know. I can't answer that question. Like I
But
said,
you
I
can't buy
didn't know
badges
what
there, partner.
I
It's
didn't
all
know
good.
what I did.
I
and I-
congratulate you.
I posted it in general to go, what the fuck did I win this for? And someone else went, it's for this. And someone else went, oh, you got it already. And I went, yeah, why? And then, well, I haven't got mine. I finished in the top 25. And then they got back and went, oh, no, it looks like I fell out of the top 25. And I felt terrible. I was like, oh, my God. It was like I took
Yeah,
you 20.
You
bottles
stole
of-
it from them, you bastard.
And I didn't even try. And I'm like, oh, sorry. So, anyway, yeah, there's my
You're
new
an
Block
evil
Explorer.
human.
I have no intention of selling it, but if someone wants to buy it, it is on for sale for $100. It's only a
Nice.
sale for $100 because I don't actually plan on selling it. So, if someone's dumb enough to buy it for that price, I'm dumb enough to sell it for that price. I saw one. There's only one other for sale at that stage, which was $50, and that was just a random mint number. And I thought, hang on, I've got the closer mint. Surely it's worth double. So,
You never know.
no one's going to buy it, but like I said, it's it's not really for sale, but you got heaps of stuff like that. But if someone offered you enough, you would probably say yes. Like sometimes I want to put stuff up for sale just like that. Like if I don't really want to sell it, but I put up at a stupid price that not
If it
unreasonably
sells, you can't
stupid,
get
but
mad.
stupid. Exactly right. And you go, well, fuck, someone just gave me $100 for something I didn't even know I was trying to win.
Okay.
And you consider other people
spent more than $100 to win that shit too.
me.
Not
For,
you. I'm saying people, other players,
well, I think
probably
you
spent
compare
more than
that to the
$100. You know.
Well, there's 75 Block Explorers given out for the wars, and that's so they're winning 1 of 75. I just got a 1 of 25 for
Nah,
doing
For
nothing.
fucking
Just
when
all.
you
playing
have
the
the other
game,
badges and other
just playing
stuff,
the game and tuning into people's shows and winning prizes, and that's all I did.
You lucky
And you know-
bastard.
Hey,
And
and
yeah.
you at home can do it too.
Exactly.
That's right.
Although I will
And you
say,
too can be a winner.
actually, it wasn't the 7-hour one. It was the Uplando one. And I didn't win by being on the draw and my name coming up. I won it by entering a race, and after the race, he goes, and everyone that was in the race gets the Block Explorer. I'm like, fuck yeah! So I wasn't complaining
I
about
missed
that.
that.
That was the Goldie and Uplando Spectacular or something that they did.
Oh, yeah.
It went for a few hours as well. Didn't go for 7 hours, but it went for a few hours as well. Like I said, I try and catch everybody's show all the time, so I try and support everyone. All right, so that kind of brings me to the end of my list, except for there's one massive thing I haven't spoken about, which needed to be addressed today,
Oh,
and it's flying over your head, isn't it? What's something we've been spending probably best part of 3 months working really hard towards?
oh yes.
You guys know? Racetrack?
No, racetrack.
No, racetrack. Yeah.
What was meant to be today?
Today was meant to be the day we give away some updates,
Yeah.
some prizes.
So I know Cape Madman posted something early today, and I was out at the dentist, so I apologize for not being organized here. He was going to come up with a list, and I think he said something along the lines of it's the same as the one we've been working on.
Yeah, I believe so.
I
I haven't had a
just
chance to
don't
look at it yet.
I just don't know which ones do and don't have the fences on them. I mean, we can load them all in the list and spin it until we land on one that's got fences.
That sounds fun.
It could take a lot of spins, though. That's the problem.
It could.
What else would I
Or
talk
we
about?
could
Lloyd?
just postpone it temporarily and get that sorted out and do it the right way.
Probably a
Sounds
better
like
idea.
be a better plan. It's not like we're
It
not
does
going to It's not like we're not going to do it.
I'll tell you
Just
what,
gotta
I'll
make
give
sure we
you
do.
50,000 upics tonight for the hell of it.
You want to give away 50,000 upics?
Sure. There's not a whole lot of people here tonight. Whoever's watching, they can get 50,000 upics.
What's the hashtag then?
Let's see here. What's a good hashtag?
Hashtag BDM?
BDM?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Let's do it. Hashtag BDM.
Can I answer?
Hashtag
That's
Big Dick Mike?
Yeah, everybody can enter.
no. I've got enough upics. I don't need yours. All right. Here's the deal. Okay, just so I can try and be true to my word, I'll spin it 3 times. If
Or
none
you
of those
just give
3
it to
are
me.
properties, none of those 3 are properties with fences on it, then we'll adjourn to next week and we'll do it properly on the next week's show, and then it'll be the last Tuesday or last show of each month. And we do need to work out tier 2, so we do need to address that next week as well. So just for kicks and giggles, let's just fucking have a crack and see what happens.
All right. Look, if Scory wins this fucking upics, I'm gonna fucking break my computer. Oh, yeah.
All right, can I copy that? Awesome, I can. All right,
$20
so
that's my address.
if it is yours, remember we were going to jackpot it. If it lands on you or me, it was going to jackpot to the following week. So was it this one? I forget what the address was. It's that
No
one.
offense.
No fences. I have got them. Oh, I don't care about that.
Construction is ready.
That could be anything.
Right.
Making sure it all loads up, and there's definitely no fences. All right. Well, unfortunately, Alonso, you could have won a bunch of upics and you didn't. All right. We'll do it 2 more times. If we fail 2 more times, we will call it quits so we don't run too long. And I will promise to be more organised for next week's show.
A Byron address.
That's mine.
It's-
All right. Well, that settles it. It's a jackpot. All right. So I have to do the math on seeing how many fence properties we have. So it was 500 upex per property, plus it's got the big structure on it. So I had the bonuses. I don't have my home address set to the node, so we don't get the extra bonus there. But I'll work out what it is, and I'll come back with a jackpot for the next month. So we're looking at probably 100,000 plus giveaway next month. But I'll work out the math and we'll post that next week and show how much has been jackpotted for next week. Sound fair?
yeah,
Don't see why not.
All
that sounds like
cool.
doubly fair.
Which kind of works out well too, considering we're not really organised this week with me having gone off to the dentist earlier today and just a few other things on our plate at the minute. So we did have Cape Madman do some more fencing today, which is cool, but I've had no one reach out to me at all in the last month or so. I've got a stack of fans.
I got to make sure I reach out to some more people. I think there's been some transactions, so I need to go and harass people again that don't have fences up.
And any other people out there, like, get other people on board. The more properties that are fenced, the higher the prize pool will be. Yeah, kind of counterintuitive. That means less chance that you'll win, but if you do win, there'll be more upics to win. So maybe it balances out. I don't know. So let's try and get this fully fenced off. I mean, it does look cool when you can clearly see the track in the game, which some sections look pretty awesome. Like down here is pretty good.
Yeah,
Except for one player. So, and just seeing the structures everywhere, like this looks awesome. I'm guessing they're aces.
yeah, I think so. No, that's Scory 23, I believe.
Yeah, but they're aces structural.
Oh, yeah,
elements.
yeah.
So they're pretty good. I think I own most of those. Yeah, so score is doing a cool thing. Oh wait. Yeah. And in relation to tier 2 property, just a quick reminder that tier 2 is any property inside the track or any property touching a track property. So one property outside the track is a tier 2 property. Build a structure on it that's a small townhouse or bigger. We'll argue about these ones later. Maybe we'll include them as well. And then you'll go into a separate draw, probably weekly, to win prizes, and the grand prize there will be one trackside property, and I've got 4 of those to give away. Hopefully I don't give them all away 4 weeks in a row. I'm hoping that will last over the next 6 months, and we will give them away. So if you see the blue ones here like this with nothing on them, that's because they're giveaway properties. I've managed to buy them from owners by making offers. So they're up for grabs to be given away for tier 2 owners. So that includes you, Boyden. I don't know if you managed to get your hands on one yet. I know you were pretty keen to get a trackside property.
I thought Boyden has trackside properties.
Oh, not Boyden, Picasso, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
My bad.
Figure out a way to get him one.
Yes. Well, maybe if he wins the URL, maybe we we chip in or something. I don't know. Work something out. We'll do something. I mean, there is one for sale. There is one for sale over here. $25. That's a pretty good price too.
Yeah, it's not bad actually.
It's probably a little higher than what I would pay for it, but it's not extraordinarily unreasonable.
Not outrageous.
But then you've got some inner properties, 30,000, probably a little bit high for a.
I mean, man, if you can get $25 for it, 30,000 actually isn't bad.
Yeah.
Well, if that does sell for $25, like the ones that, and I'll be open on this, the ones that I bought were for 40K. I was just offering anyone that didn't seem to be responding. I just sent about 15, 20 offers out for 40K each. And I had, out of those 15 or 20, I had 4 come back with a positive. Couple of nut rejections, and probably most of the 80% were just crickets. No answers, no responses.
Yeah, just people who probably don't even play or ever log in.
Look, there's even one unminted, and it's FSA, so it's mintable. So, just find a FSA player to make a deal, and you can get a tier 2 property for whatever the deal you make, probably cheaper than what these two are.
Those are facts right there. Shit.
So, I said, we'll do the tier 2 properties. We'll have like crap load of structural ornaments and other prizes. Vulgar asset, all sorts of shows from the prizes from the neutral zone. So there's plenty of stuff that you can win there. But the grand prize will be the there won't be, or maybe they'll do a 5,000 UpX prize in there or something too. But the grand prize will be one of these, and then we'll have to figure out which one out of the 4 as we give them away. But all 4 will be given away at some point over the next 6 months or so, or sooner, whatever. All right, so short story jackpot for next month, since I did try and do it fairly and it landed on me, and it was always going to be jackpotting if it landed on me or Elslack, because we were never going to take the prize. So someone will win double next week, or next month, sorry.
El double. I do want to talk a little bit. I bought so I sold all my Cyborg shit because I was jaded. And then but I did parlay the money that I got from that, which was like, I don't know, like $130 or something like that. So that was actually pretty good. And I bought some properties last night while I was staying on the coast, and I bought a new showroom, and I'm going to build a car showroom in Las Vegas. And probably just, yeah, well, that's just where it happened to be. It was like I think the markup was 38% or something like that for I think it was 30, something like that.
And it had a showroom already built on it.
Yeah, it's not the biggest property, but it's not bad.
There's my vehicle showroom. I got approved, I think, yesterday. It's my first ever car showroom. It's called Beats Walking.
Oh, nice.
So I don't really have a lot of cars for sale at the moment. I just didn't have a car showroom, so I figured I'd get one. I moved my structural ornament shop to a bigger location so I can put more on it. So this is going to become my car showroom. So I've got a few carts on there at the minute.
I need a couple of those. Yeah, it's not like I was talking about carts and a car showroom or nothing. You just fucking.
I just wanted to.
Just
He was like, oh, I
fucking
don't have one of those.
stomp on my dick right in front of me.
Share and show us yours now. Share and show us yours, you crybaby.
He was about to, I'd imagine, right?
I was working on it.
But I was already in the notes, so I was literally around the corner already. So I was like,
Probably just fucking side bust. Like,
Mine's-
hey,
mine's in
motherfucker.
Granada Hills, so
Oh golly, it's more fun just to bust your chops about it. Yeah, we'll share this. Yeah, sorry, I'm just moving assets. I had all these fucking things.
do you not have your own
Um,
showroom? Surely you do.
Let's
Surely
see
you got a
here.
showroom. But yeah, by all means, if you want to put carts in my showroom, go for it. I'm not going to say no. In fact, I'll
I
even
don't
make sure
even
the
know which
fees
one of
are
these ones it is. I guess we're just gonna
Make
have
sure
to
the fees are
guess.
to minimum.
Yeah, I haven't applied yet, but I just sent my ass over to Las Vegas, so I'll probably apply for it tomorrow. Where the fuck are
Well, at
my?
least I didn't show you the
Property.
inside of my store, so
There's that.
I don't understand why
Oh.
when other people post stuff in your shop, it has an expiry date of 7 days. That shits me. Should be longer.
No, it's not. It just means that's when you can take it out. It's locked in for 7 days, and then after that,
is
you can. They can take it out, or you can take it out. It's not like it doesn't show up anymore.
Well, you can lower it to what, like 24 hours, basically?
Yeah, but okay.
Oh, this one. Yeah, see, it's pretty.
Oh,
It's
so-
pretty small, but the price was right, so I bought it.
So that stays for
So, like I
sale
said,
unless
not
they
huge.
remove it. So me removing it to 0 means that they can unlist it straight away if they wanted to.
Yeah.
Copy that.
Yeah.
Well, I'll do that then. Oops, something went wrong. I
Anyway.
tried to do that, and it went nope. Computer says nope.
Nice. You gotta. So that's gonna be your car showroom.
It's a big showroom for a
Yeah.
small place.
Yeah, it is a big. Yeah, I mean, it'll be fine. I don't have a lot of cars, so I'm not too worried about it. I was thinking about that. I was
Well-
like, I will probably never have a lot of cars, so
Well, carts
I don't
will
need
take up.
anything.
I mean, you might end up with a lot of carts, and because they're small, like you can probably fit a lot in there. So the bigger showroom means you can list more. But I don't
Right.
know whether that's a 315 or a 300 or 400 list showroom.
I
I'm
don't
feeling
know.
like you're not ever going to worry about running out of space on your list, which I've
no.
recently have been doing. So
I
that's
just,
something I
like,
do.
The price was right, so I was like, I'm gonna snatch that fucker up. It's under, like, well under mint. It already has a showroom on top of it. It's not
Nice.
too far from LA. It's in a decent city, so I was like, yeah, I'll buy that. Fuck yeah. And I had
Especially
all the USD.
Yeah, once we have this MetaVenture sale thingy happening, it won't matter anyway. So people just have to own a property in Las Vegas, and let's face it, most players will. At some point, Las Vegas will expand again. So
Yeah.
future proof as well. So no, it's a good buy.
Yeah, I bought. Well, I spent like $120 last night just buying properties. So
Nice.
it was,
It's always fun to just go a little fucking crazy when you
Yeah.
when you got the funds in Upland, right?
yeah. I mean, it was just things that were in the game. So it's not like I didn't take it out. I didn't lose anything. I didn't take it out of my account. So it was like free internet money going right into
Yeah,
right
magic.
back into Upland.
Money. Well, I've got some magic money burning a hole in my account too, but I'm waiting for Sparklet to come back in the shop so I can buy another bundle. So the $300 bundles went real quick, so I'm going to get one of those when they come back out. If
Yeah.
they price it right.
Well, I'll sell cards for you, Scory. And list them in the old showroom.
It says
I
his
think.
showroom's only in LA, and I'm like, well, mine's only in LA too, so I can't help you. You might as well just sell me your own showroom.
And there's La Bandit. He's up and awake.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. La Bandit. If you're not busy, can you jump on stream at the end of the show, please?
I applied for my first manufacturing shop or whatever you want to call it this week.
A factory.
Yeah,
Factory.
yeah, factory.
Nice.
So, and I sent in some requests to what is it, Ready Assets, to make me some map assets to sell.
Slab and the team. Slab and
Yeah.
Land. Yeah, they're brilliant. They're really good,
Nice.
those guys.
Yeah, I figure that, and like I just freaking had a quick. I just want some like monsters, like monsters. So we'll see how they turn out. I'm sure they'll be good.
I bet they
only gonna
will.
probably do like 50, a mint run of 50 each.
Well, they're pretty switched on over there, and they're
Okay. Some happy
That'll help you.
monsters.
Yeah. So what I
love
did
the sound.
actually was I took a screenshot of us, right, and I put it into ChatGPT, and I said, "Make these 3 characters into monsters." So each one of us is actually going to have a monster. Once they're done, I'll be giving them to you guys.
I'm willing to bet ChatGPT
Okay.
went for me. Nope, no change required.
Yours, I think yours is actually pretty badass, man.
He turned into some
Well,
sort of
you might-
like handsome
might have
Shrek
to-
looking
You
thing.
might have to do another one soon. You might have to do another version soon.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. I just
All right.
figured why not, especially so they charge like between $20 to $100, and for the 3D ones that I wanted, they're going to be like $35 each. So I figure, I mean, I'm there's no way I'm not going to make at least like $500,000 UPIX off of that,
So if you consider it like a purchase
love
of
that.
$25 in game, you're happy to get triple your UPEX back. So if you can 10x that, you're fucking doing well. Let alone 20 or 30x or whatever it is. So
Indubitably.
yeah,
Right. And you never know where things are going to go, like I don't know. I definitely have
yeah.
have kind of lost some hope
All right, so
of
we need to-
Upland really having a season this year, or having a bowl run this year, but that's just
No,
also 'cause
it'll
the whole
happen. It
market's
just
pretty
won't-
shitty.
it'll happen. It just won't happen till the end of the year.
Just-
So we've got 6.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like
be
it might have
patient.
might have steady, slow growth that for the first half of this year. There might be some growth, and I reckon I've seen an uptick in my sales that I'm from my Queens properties that are all on the market. Only ever so slightly. It's not like there's been a rush for them. But my best guess is that the first half of the year is going to be slow, with a slow tick towards the upside, and then when it comes, it'll come like an avalanche. It'll seem like all of a sudden there's
Name me your sex tape.
fucking people snap. You'll go to a city release and you'll get like 2 properties, and you go, "What the fuck just happened?" Bit like Rio was the first time around. When the first release of Rio was like, if you went fast, you didn't get shit. And City Mints will probably go like that again until Upland, especially if the numbers stay like they are now, with really low numbers for each release. But Upland will have their finger on the pulse with how many active players there are. So maybe you'll see a city release of 70,000 or 80,000. You go, "What are you doing, Upland?" And then you'll get to the city release and it all sold out in 5 minutes. You're like, "Oh, okay."
Right.
Like I can see that.
I think it'll be
towards the end.
I think it'll be noticeable though, just because you'll start seeing a lot more new people in Discord and in the in-game chats and all that, and I've noticed a little bit of it. I just still like there's a part of me that I'm just trying to write it all off as just all of off already.
Look, I mean, meme coins have been going stupid for some stupid reason. Actually, I was going to point something out. Meme coins have been going stupid for the last few months or so. I'm not going to bring it up now. Maybe next week.
But they've also been
People are trying to up. Yeah, exactly right. That's my issue. Is like if these meme coins can do something stupid, like the Trump coin went to $8 billion like in 24 hours.
Good God.
Like, I'm not suggesting for a second Upland's going to go from 6 million to 8 billion in 24 hours. But it's fucking crazy what can happen if and when the word of Upland gets out there. And it doesn't have to be people coming to play the game of Upland. It just has to be people that half understand crypto and go, "Hang on, this could be a 100x coin." And let's face it, 10, 20, 30, 40x is all still pretty fucking good. So it doesn't have to be players, although hopefully they are players as well, which will stay in the game, all sort of shit. There is one huge caveat to all this, and one, I don't know what you want to call it, big red flag for especially crypto savvy people is Upland own 80% of the supply. So I don't know if you've caught any of the talk about the Trump coin and all that sort of stuff, and Trump kept 80% of the supply. Sounds very similar, doesn't it? It's a huge red flag because Upland can dump the rest of that supply in the market at any time, destroying the value of Sparklet. Now, do we think Upland will do that? No, we don't. That's why we're in the game and we invested in it and we trust them to not do that. But we're in it and we understand that. What about someone that knows nothing about Upland, looks at one entity and goes, well, hang on, they've got 80% of the supply. That's a huge red flag, and that's probably the only thing really that would hold Upland back. Now, people that dig into it and look at the tokenomics properly and understand the white page and all that sort of stuff, white paper, maybe they get past that. Maybe they don't. But
right. But it's like, here's the thing. It's like you got a site like Pump.Fun that's going to get the traffic that, is going to pump all these bullshit meme coins. Whereas how many people are even going to have eyes on Sparklet,
Well, that's what we're hoping Upland's actually doing. Like, they're saying they're going to do it. Maybe there's rumors that Twitter. I mean, if there's some sort of connection between Upland and Twitter, and let's hope it's not like a FIFA connection or something like that, but something that goes both ways. Fuck, man, there's so many Twitter followers. Even just an ad on Twitter, how fucking good would that be?
Yeah, no, I think it would be huge, and if you could connect your Twitter account to Upland, and then you had like a live feed that is your Upland feed and your Twitter feed. How dope would that be?
That would be impressive.
I mean, and then you know what? Then I will be so happy that I fucking invested in Upland. Like, I'll be that happiest motherfucker you could ever imagine at that point, man. I mean, all of us will be, right? So, fingers crossed.
Look, I don't keep buying more and more. Yeah, I don't keep buying more and more Sparklet because I need it for playing Upland. I can tell you that now. That's not why
like you probably have 3 times more Sparklet than anybody ever would need, man.
Yeah. Well, when I think about it, and I think future forward, I think 25,000 Sparklet, because that's the most you can stake on one factory, is probably all you really need. If they ever introduce the ability to pay someone else to stack in your factory, that would probably even come down as well, because you can just use UpX to build stuff. But at the moment, no one else can stack in your factory but you. 25,000 Sparklets, the most you can stack on a large factory. I mean, unless you want to do 2 or 3 factories at once, which, let's face it, if you manage your inventory and do things right, you don't really need that. So 25,000 is probably all you really need to play Upland. If you really want to build, just go spark it up at the exchange.
What about when they actually release, like, creating legits? So, like, say a big company like Nike comes in and they want to make legits for their shoes, and then that Sparklet actually gets burned. So every time, and they've said this, I believe.
Well, maybe it gets burned. The plan. Maybe it gets. They said that maybe it gets burned. It was apparently going to be some sort of vote as to whether it gets burned or gets reissued.
Ooh, maybe that.
So again,
maybe that's the vote that's coming out, bro.
That's just something we have to wait and see. There's no point in speculating on that. We're hitting our deadline now, so we need to get this big
very true. But just to say, man,
so unless there's anything else we missed about stories off the
Sparklet, like if you had something that sunk the supply, then that 80K in hand wouldn't be such a big deal if people understood that.
Well, there's no such thing as some sort of tokenomics that has a burning mechanism. So there's no such thing as that being a bad idea. I'll just believe it when I see it. How it works, whether it's worth burning Sparklet to mean something in the game, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, blueprints, UGC especially been holding out on blueprints for fucking years now. Maybe that requires Sparklet to create blueprints. Who knows? Like, and burning Sparklet. And if that's the case, I'll think twice about doing it, because I don't know that it's going to be worth burning Sparklet for it. I don't know. Like, we'll have to wait and see.
Now he's over here being a dirty bird.
If it's a big company like Nike and they want to make it for their legits, for their shoes, I could definitely see them being willing to do that.
Yeah, but they'll just buy the Sparklet to burn it straight away. They're not like they've been hoarding it for years.
No. Like, you have to burn it to buy the like. The only way you could burn it would be to buy a legit. I mean, and yeah, like you're saying, now we're
No, the way I understood what Upland was saying, you'd have to burn the sparklet to create the legits that you would then sell.
exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So
So
they would
if
have
Nokia
to
were to do
buy
that,
more.
they would come in, buy the sparklet, and then burn it to create the legits. Yeah, which that's entirely different than a player burning it. So,
Right.
all right, all right. So what have we got for prizes? We got 50K for Happy.
I'll give away a tea bagger because we're gonna have the tea bagger drawing coming up here next month, and so it's a couple weeks.
All right, so I'll just do my usual winner's choice. So I'll go third place. Winner's choice, just hit me up with what structural ornament, what shop you want it from. Now, according to Scory, who's a rich bastard because he keeps winning all this shit, if he comes up first, and he's getting 25K and you're spinning again for another 25K. And then otherwise, we've got those 3 prizes. So let's go.
And Scory wants to donate a gold bench press, which I think is the rarest bench press.
All right, I missed that. So we've got 4 prizes.
Okay. All right, let's do their 50K drawing first from Mr. Happy Motherfucker. 10 seconds, and then I'm gonna hit the button. We have 11 entries. Last call. Hashtag BDM. Here we go. 2, 1, 0. Clickety click. Who's it gonna be?
I almost thought it was
Yes.
a story, man.
Somebody new. Fucking fine.
All right.
Nice.
Congrats, Kushal. Just send me a message in game.
It's
and
that
let
with
us know what your-
896 or something like that, if I remember correctly.
Something like that, yeah.
896 or something. Yeah. If it's who I'm
Okay.
thinking of. All right.
Next
so what
will
your
be the gold bench.
gold bench second?
Yeah, why not?
I would have thought
I think it might be Scory's rarest item.
that was fixed. Oh my god, you didn't win, and it's like it's fixed.
It's rigged.
Well, your show, so go for it.
All right. Drawn again. Here we go. Jimmy Jester just missed out on the 50,000. That's okay. We got 3 more prizes to give away here. Maui with a gold bench.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Maui. You always win shit.
Doesn't she though?
She does.
And if she's not winning, it's because the band won.
Yeah,
Right.
those are facts. Maui, reach out to Scory23 to get your gold bench press. Next one is for Swarley's
A
structure.
structural ornament. Winner's choice, winner's location. Just message me.
Winner's choice, winner's location, message Swarley. Who's it going to be? It's
All
not me.
right.
Redraw. Redraw.
Not me.
I don't even enter these. I don't know what you do.
Because I just put the hashtag in there.
Oh.
Leben.
Man, just like we were just talking
Redraw.
about you.
Redraw. No, he gets one anyway. He gets a free one anyway.
Yeah, I'll give him a reach around. That'll be good enough.
Yeah, we already did the band. You don't get a say. in
There
this.
we go. We have a
Hey,
real
Mike.
winner.
All right. Congrats, Michael.
Michael Caller.
Michael, send me a message in game or what's your actual? I should know this.
It's
Same
is it Trendy
Same-
Prop?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
Just send me a message, mate. What you want and what shop you want to pick it up from. So just Google Swarley Structures, and you'll find something.
And then this is for the teabagger.
Well, not Google actually, just fucking asset
Who's
search.
it gonna be? Who's getting a teabagger today? It's gonna be Mitchell McKinnon. Sick.
Does Mitchell got a tea bag already? I
don't know.
I'm gonna have a guess and say no, but if not, cool.
Now he's got. If he does, he's got 2.
Nice.
Oh, Kira, you just missed the drawing.
Yeah, we got that, Michael. So just send me a message in game or in Discord or something, what you want. Doesn't have to be today. But if you don't hit me up or remind me, I'll forget, and then you don't get shit.
All right, hold on a second. Let me go. This stupid thing. Stop that. I'm gonna do one more draw for a teabagger. We have a
It's all right.
late
You
entry.
have 2 now. You can do what you want with it, but by owning that, you might win. Was it 5,000 up? Is that what you give away?
Yep. No, the more you have, the better your odds of winning are.
So keep it, Mitchell. You might get an extra 5k up X just for having it.
Yeah. Let me. I don't want to forget to do it. So I'm just gonna...
Well, Scorer, you've got 200 and something thousand up X. Go buy one.
Yeah. We have like 20. I know I have one reserved for you right now.
I'd be surprised if you didn't have one. Actually, to be fair.
I would be surprised too. You better just go. Hold on a second. Let's see here. Map assets LA. Do I have
He's
any
got
over
5
here?
of them. Now that makes more sense. That makes more
Yeah, I was
sense.
gonna say, you dingbat.
I did find that hard to believe. That.
This one is gonna be. I'm gonna just put it in the right number before I forget, and then I'm gonna spin one more time.
I'm pretty sure I've only got 2. So you're doing better than me, and I made them.
Oh, I fucking damn it! Bear with me here. Bear with me. I'm trying to add these live because I don't have my sheet up.
Is that from me, trading code, that you won it from me? Because I can put it in a different shop. Or is it from LSlack or what it is? What was it you won and who from? And I'm going to ask the same question I always ask. What's his in-game name again? I forget that every week.
Mitchell McKinnon, what is your in-game name? Just so is it Mitch?
LSlack's Crumpus.
I'm pretty sure that's already reserved for you. You
Yeah,
just
he's
have to
saying
look it up.
he's not in LA. That's the problem there.
Yeah, well, son of a
What?
biscuit.
What shop are you in? Okay, yeah, where
That's right.
where is your Block Explorer at the moment? Cow trading. I'll sort it out for you. I've got a couple lingering around.
All right, I'm going to spin this one more time.
So Mitch, that's right.
And then this will be the last one. All right.
All right.
Last draw, right meow. For the last teabagger. Robert Smith.
All right.
Robert Smith. What is your in-game name, Robert Smith? And I will reserve a teabagger for you right now. For 1 UpX in my showroom.
Or you can do a bonus swap.
Yeah, Robert is a great name. Something really just like dignified.
There's too many Roberts in the world.
It's a really dignified name, if I do say so myself. It's not anything like a bitch ass like Mike or fucking David or something. Those names are played out to the max. But a Robert, you cannot beat a good Robert.
My name is Mike, you son of a bitch.
I know that.
Yeah, and I'm David. That's why he's saying it.
Yeah, I know. But my last
But
name
no,
is Robert.
because he and the
so-
band and now Rob Smith are all Robs.
All right, Robert Smith, you sexy named motherfucker. You have a teabagger reserved for you in my map asset showroom. So go pick it up. Yeah, I think that's all we got for today, gents.
All right, so just quickly,
Yeah.
Cal, while you're trading Krampus, sorry, in DC showroom in about 2 minutes. And I've already forgotten who won my prize.
Well, now you're gonna have to go watch the video on
Trendy
replay.
Prop, was it?
It was Trendy Prop, yeah.
Trendy Prop. So Trendy Prop messaged me for your prize. That's how forgetful I am. So if you don't bug me, you won't get it. All right,
Those are true.
Krampus
True
being
words.
listed now.
Okay.
Anyone else got anything? I'm good.
It's reserved in Kansas City because I didn't have any in my LA showroom, so you're gonna have to travel a little bit if you want it. Well, actually, I don't know. It could be in the LA one. I have one in LA reserved, and then all the rest of them are reserved in Kansas City. And there's only one way to find out, and that's if I unreserve it, and I don't want to do that. So, and I don't have my sheet up. If I had my sheet up,
Can't you just go to the map asset and hit locate?
yeah, but it doesn't tell you who has it.
It should. Oh, really? But it'll bring it to the property it's on, and then that should tell you who has it, right?
Story, don't you talk to me like that again. Hey, Maui, can you send me that link again? Because I can't find that. I can't find the link you sent me that we've been working on for prizes. Yeah, Squirrel, moving over to fucking LA for you. Just remind me.
So-
Like,
You from Cure? Did I miss that?
Like a metal
Could be
band or
from-
rock band or something, right?
Cure's like a punk band, man. Come on.
The Cure is?
Yeah.
I don't even
Isn't-
know who they are.
Isn't prevention better?
You don't know who the Cure is?
Well, I've heard of The Cure, but I couldn't even name one of their songs.
Yeah, I couldn't either. I've heard of them, but I can't name any either.
All right, we got to go. We got to go.
And on that note, night everyone.
All right, see you guys later. Peace.